find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
What time is it? Let me check my watch. Oh, it's bone o'clock. In olden days, a glimpse of femur was only for morbid dreamers, but you're not alone. Bring anything bones. Two goofy gals with deathly interest go on a skeleton inquest in your headphones. Anything bones.
Hello and welcome to Anything Bones. I'm Sophie Schwartz.
And I'm Katelyn. Halloween questions abound. Heart. I don't know.
And this is the podcast where we talk about bones and bone-related topics.
We're super spooky and weird today, and we're joined by a returning guest, our sweet friend, Randell Allen of Randy's House fame.
Yes, it's Randell. Did Burke do it, Allen?
Ooh. Well, welcome home, Randell.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here. Randy says hi.
Did you play him the episode? The ghost that lives in your home that we talked about on your last episode.
My husband listened to that episode from his computer directly above Randy's corner.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
And then one night I saw him on the porch, and when I was I saw him on the porch, and I told Katelyn about it.
Oh, well, I hope he liked the episode.
I mean, I'm still alive. Nothing's come off the walls. There's no sticky surfaces, so I think he's good.
No bad energy.
Yeah, that's the best review you can get from a ghost, I feel.
I mean, basically, Lawrence is like, if you're gonna mess with this family or this house, catch these unpermitted hands.
You're gonna get a lot of chills down your spine, motherfucker.
Tingles, bitch, on your scalp.
Tingles Bitch is going to be my burlesque name.
Oh my god, yes.
I think it's Tingles Bitch, but with an exclamation point at the end.
Like a Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's the upside down exclamation point. A la Pink, Misunderstood.
Yes. That's the early Naughty Oddies flair that it needed.
Well, so I am really excited for today's episode because all three of us have prepared topics, but we are not going to be presenting them. So this is a format that we haven't done since episode 32. I literally went back and checked. This is 92.
Shit.
Oh.
But we've all done each other's research for today, and we're going to get some candid presentations.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. I did my research for this on a couple of planes and in a hotel room in Michigan. So I'm absolutely pumped to see what my topic is and to hear Katelyn talk about hers. Because I did research for Katelyn. Katelyn did research for Randell, and Randell did research for me.
I'm ready. I mean, should we just dive head first into the abyss?
All right. I just started looking at the document.
Yeah, get in there.
We haven't looked at this stuff at all. I was sent this research literally 20 minutes before we sat down, and I didn't look at it.
No cheating allowed.
No cheating allowed. I will put a disclaimer in front of my story. I'm dyslexic, so cold reading sometimes will produce fun flubs. So,
oh my god,
we have that
Sophie,
to look forward to.
A dyslexic is reading something prepared by a man with obsessive compulsive disorder.
Aww.
Our neuroses complement each other.
Aww. They're cuddling together in front of the fireplace, ready for this story.
Oh my god, cuddling little mental fluffies. Okay.
Aww. Alright, so I'll start off with the sources, of course. I have firstcoastnews.com, news4jax.com, jacksonville.com, oxygen.com. Ooh, that's always a good one.
I love it.
There's a whole Snapped episode about
Snapped. Oh,
Snapped.
shit. All right. And then another, looks like a second article from First Coast News. All right. fuck. I used to watch Snapped all the time on Oxygen. It was on 24/7, I felt like.
Girl, you washing the dishes, Snaps on. Making dinner, Snaps on. 2 a.m. can't sleep, Snaps got you.
About to snap? Watch an episode of Snapped. Reconsider.
Tonight at 8.
Oh my god, Forensic Files was playing in the hotel. Anyway.
That hits differently, the Forensic Files in the hotel. For me, also, an SVU marathon in a hotel is like chef's kiss.
Oh, no, I got one for you guys. TNT Sexual Perversion Week playing episodes of CSI when I was at a My Little Pony convention.
Oh my lord.
Oh, God.
That's a very specific vibe.
I mean, yeah, that was fucked. Almost as fucked up as what you're about to read.
Randall, you and I are on the same wavelength. I was about to make that same fucking segue. Kisses. Alright. Do you guys want a story that is stranger than fiction? Do you want a story that could literally be a psychological thriller? I have one for you. It may be bone related, but they have never found the bones.
No bones.
No bones about it. Kimberly Lee Kessler?
Yes.
Kimberly Lee Kessler was born in 1968 and grew up in Butler, Pennsylvania. Not much is known about her childhood and adolescence, though it was said that she experienced some mental health issues in high school. Same.
Yeah, but girl.
She also once knocked her brother's teeth out during a fight.
All of them?
That's what my husband said when I was like, here, read this.
Oh my god. Well, oh my goodness, Kimberly. In 2004, when she was 35, her mother reported her missing. Though she had been missing for approximately 8 years before her family filed this missing persons report. 8 years?
Jesus.
It's been 8 years.
Wow. Kimberly would be found in 2018 in connection with another missing woman, Joleen Cummings. Put a pin in Kessler and we'll get back to her being found a little bit later.
Keep Kessler on the brain.
Yes, put her on the back burner for a hot sec.
Yes.
Joleen Rebecca Jensen was born in 1984, and she grew up in Nassau County? Girl, I don't know. Florida. It's Florida.
It's somewhere in fucking Florida.
Lord.
She was a successful cosmetologist at a salon Tangles. Ferdinandia, Ferdinandia.
Girl, I tried to type that like 6 times. I was like, Google, is this? Yeah, it was real, but my fingers did not want a Fernandia.
Well, Fernandia they did. Yes, I love the name Tangles.
See, I don't love it for a hair salon because, like, you don't want tangles when you leave a hair salon. I guess if you're coming in with tangles and leaving with, you know, shiny, silky hair, but I don't know. I don't like tangles as a name.
What if you're walking by and you have tangles, you see it and you go, oh, that's for me.
What if it has a question mark at the end?
No, I went to a salon where I grew up called Harry's.
That's perfect.
Was it run by a guy named Harry?
Yes, it was spelled Harry. I found their business card the other day when I was going through a box of high school shit.
Oh.
So back to Joleen. She had a large circle of friends. She was known for her energy and sense of fun. Aww. And I bet something terrible is going to happen to her. She had 3 children, and those children were the most important part of Joleen's life. On May 14th, Joleen's ex-husband was contacted by their children when Joleen failed to pick them up. Now, this was unusual because Joleen would never forget to pick up her kids. Also, this wasn't just any day, it was Joleen's birthday, and she was excited to celebrate the day with them because prior to this day, they had spent a week visiting their father.
Oh, yeah, so it's like there's no reason that she would flake on them.
And it was also Mother's Day weekend.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, God. Oh, shit.
Confused, her ex-husband contacted their mother, Ann Johnson, and said, quote, "You know where Joleen's at? She's supposed to pick up the kids, and they didn't know where she was," end quote. Joleen's mother attempted to contact her daughter with no success. She then called the Fernandia Police Department to report her daughter missing. Authorities spoke with the owner of Tangle's hair salon, who said Joleen had closed up on Monday the 12th around 5 p.m. She had been working with a new employee named Jennifer Stibert. Stibert likely was the last person to see Joleen before she went missing. When Stibert was contacted by investigators, she said she couldn't be involved in any law enforcement investigation as she was being stalked by her ex-boyfriend. She said she wasn't close with Joleen and had no idea what happened to her. Investigators went in person to Tangle's hair salon, where they once again encountered Jennifer Stibert. As the last person to see Joleen alive, they were eager to ask her more questions, but again, she refused. That's suspicious.
That is so suspicious. It's like, get a lawyer all you want, but if you're not going to answer questions, that's a red flag.
But she has a stalker ex-boyfriend. Allegedly.
So that means she can't talk about this other case? I don't get it.
We have a quote here. Quote, "She decided she didn't want to have any part of the police. As she leaves, she said, quote, 'I'm quitting. You can mail my check. I can't be involved in any police activity,' which is a concern," said the owner of the salon. So this owner of the salon is saying she quit on the spot because she didn't want to be involved with this investigation.
Yeah, that's suspicious as fuck.
Yeah, definitely. Ugh, I'm drawn in. I was like started reading and I was like, bitch, you gotta read out loud.
Tell us all the story.
Tell us all the story. Don't keep it to yourself, bitch. On May 15th, investigators received a tip that Joleen's truck was seen abandoned in a parking lot of a local Home Depot. Upon reviewing footage from the cameras in the parking lot, Joleen's coworker Jennifer Stibert was seen exiting the vehicle and walking into a nearby gas station.
Uh-oh.
Oh, fuck. A BOLO, a be on the lookout. I always wondered what that stood for. Thank you.
You're welcome.
A BOLO was placed for Stibert and her black Kia Soul. Ooh, that's the car of a psycho.
The hamsters are inside driving around like crazy.
Hamsters eat their children.
I was going to say, do you remember that car commercial? But I'm way more interested in Sophie's tangent.
Sorry, that's, again, just why I don't trust her.
It is true, though. I think a class pet did that once. The hamster, ate some of its babies, and we learned a very valuable lesson.
The hamster's like, children gather round. Yeet.
Children, now it's time for dinner, and you're the main event. That's gross. Okay.
The body of Christ. What?
It's always gotta come back to him.
Hey, I'm stretching out my viral TikTok fame where I got 300-something thousand views for literally just saying, Jesus!
Yeah, I love that one.
You were saying that it was like a duet, like what do people base their whole personality on?
Yeah,
and it's great.
Yeah, go watch it. Well,
no, you got to grow the following. We're here for it always.
Anyway, back to Jennifer at the gas station.
Yes, this is where it's getting intense. So, we're all out on the lookout for Stibert and her black Kia Soul subcompact crossover SUV. And so she was later found sleeping in her car at a rest area on Interstate 95 in St. Johns County, Florida, and taken into custody. She was charged with grand theft auto. Quote, "She had a nasty cut on her face. Her story was she was riding a bicycle and ran into a tree, but that's not what she would have looked like if she ran into a tree. It looked like she had been in a fight," end quote. And this was from the Nassau County Sheriff Bill Lepper.
Oh, unfortunate last name.
Yeah, a little bit. Authorities subsequently obtained surveillance footage which showed Stibert carrying heavy trash bags to a dumpster behind Tangle's after it closed on the night of May 12th. Was later emptied by a garbage truck. Its contents never retrieved. Oh.
Now, hair salons go through a lot of garbage.
That's true.
But that's weird. That's suspicious,
I mean,
I'm sure.
Hopefully they recycle. So, what's in the heavy trash bags, girl? That can't all be hair clippings. I mean, it is called Tangles.
That's true. Perhaps they deal with particularly intense hair type situations.
Yeah, instead of brushing the tangles, they just cut them out, so their trash is just overflowing all the time.
I'm not sure that's right.
Okay, all right.
No, I mean, I'm saying Tangles, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, I thought I was just like, Katelyn, you and I are like the worst defense attorneys ever.
I'm just seeing what sticks, throwing anything at the wall.
That night, Stibert was also captured on security cameras at Walmart purchasing, oh goodness, cleaning supplies, gloves, and an electric carving knife?
Yowza.
Yowzer Bowsers. Oh my
Girl,
goodness.
she's
yes.
cutting out those tangles, though.
Oh, no, she's not.
Tangles, you are doing it wrong. Yes, you heard that correctly. An electric carving knife. She then returned to the salon and continued to fill the dumpster with large trash bags.
No.
Goodness gracious. Investigators would use luminol inside of the Tangles salon, revealing massive amounts of blood residue on the walls, chairs, cabinets, and sinks of the salon. DNA testing would show this blood would be that of Joleen Cummings. Fuck. The same DNA was later found on socks, boots, and scissors found in Stibert's car.
Yikes. I'm surprised that there wasn't, like, a better cleanup, because there should have been barbicide there.
Oh,
Yeah.
What's up? What do we know about barbicide, Kayla?
It's stinky, and it takes away all the germs.
All of the germs. That's right, kids. For your introductory price of you can't buy it without a license, barbicide.
You can't?
I'm sure you can get anything off the internet. I'm sure that you can get unlicensed barbicide off of Amazon. Dilute it with water. Cleans up stuff real nice. Never tried to clean up blood with it? Just saying.
I was gonna say, don't tell people that, Randall.
But yeah, I kind of brought it up. Like, wouldn't you think that she would use barbicide rather?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
Why are you buying cleaning chemicals at Walmart whenever you work in a salon where we have relaxer that can strip a cabinet?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of I mean,
Literally, you have bleach.
Yeah.
you have access to so many things. It's like, really, you did not need to go to Walmart for that.
Oh, the best thing to clean up messes is you take a bowl of bleach that you didn't use all of it, smeared on the counter, whatever stain you have, come back in a little bit, wipe it up, gone. Thank you, leftover hair bleach.
I've ruined many black t-shirts.
Girl, let me tell you, I learned that trick from my former boss, Donna Morton. Shout out, Wildwood Salon.
That was my boss too.
Yes, represent Donna if you're listening to this. Hi. But yeah, that woman taught me how to clean some stuff with some leftover hair care products. So Jennifer, check your training.
Teaching people how to do crime. Investigators learned that the day before Joleen disappeared, she had gotten in a fight with Stibert.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Ugh, this is just gonna be bad. Quote, Joleen basically told her, quote, "You're not who you say you are, and I'm going to find out who you are," said Nassau County Sheriff Sergeant Wayne Harrington. And Joleen was right. After 24 hours in custody, Stibert spoke with detectives and revealed that she was not who everyone thought she was. Who was she? None other than the missing woman, Kimberly Kessler. What?
Kimberly!
Fuck.
What you
Fuck
doing?
Kimberly.
Where are your brother's teeth?
Well, I think we're gonna find out, but that's wild. I had forgotten. I guess I had forgotten about Kimberly.
Well, let me tell you, I forgot to write about the storage unit, so let's come back to that at the end. Go ahead.
All right, remind me to ask you about her storage unit. Quote, "When you run my fingerprints through, they come up as Kimberly Lee Kessler. I am 50 years old, and I've been running from the FBI for over 25 years," Kessler said calmly in her videotaped interview. Oh my God. Kessler revealed she was born in 1968 and grew up in Butler, Pennsylvania. She claimed she ran away from home after high school and began living under assumed names after dating a man in Arizona who robbed banks. Wow. However, after checking with authorities in Pennsylvania, detectives learned of the missing persons report filed in 2004. She had stolen the identity of Jennifer Stibert from a girl who died in 1987. Smart. And was buried in her hometown. A search of Kessler's car found fake documents and identification cards for 18 different aliases.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and showed that she had lived in 33 cities in 14 states since 1996.
Whoa. So the reason she was going like on the lam and going under a false name was because she was associated with a bank robber?
Or was it something more sinister, considering...
Oh.
Shall I continue?
Yes.
On May 22nd, Sheriff Bill Lepper, from before, announced investigators had reason to believe Cummings was murdered, but they did not say why. He also revealed that Kessler was being held on a $500,000 bond. That's no small price. On September 8th, 2018, a Nassau County grand jury indicted Stibert for first-degree murder for the death of Joleen Cummings. In the lead-up to the murder trial, she went on a hunger strike in an attempt to show that she was incompetent for trial. Did I read that right?
Yep.
No, that's not going to work, girl.
Yeah, apparently the judge did not buy it. While in custody, Kessler was also charged with 2 counts of battery on law enforcement officers after stripping nude and fleeing them and flinging feces at them.
Feces!
No!
Girl.
I missed that part of beauty school.
Me too, you know?
Yep.
Well, that's a damn shame. You guys need to get some of your money back.
God damn it.
Back to our girl Kessler. In December 2021, she was found guilty of first-degree murder in the death of Joleen Cummings and subsequently sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The search for Joleen Cummings' body and remains continues to this day. That's so sad.
Oh, she's in a landfill somewhere. That's
Well,
awful.
I was reading in my research, they sent several people out to go through landfills and to locate, and they never... It does say they found evidence, but they don't reveal what the evidence is, so we don't know if it was remains or clothing or what have you.
Yeah. God, that's so sad. Like, it sounds like Joleen was just, like, kind of suspicious of her, and so she just snapped.
They found Joleen's DNA. I believe it was Joleen's DNA in her storage unit. And also in her storage unit, they found people's hair.
What?
Like ponytails. Like she had saved ponytails that she cut off at work. Which I'm like, Jennifer, you don't seem to me to be the type of gal that's saving those ponytails for locks of love or, wigs for kids.
Yeah.
They're not really helping anybody in a storage
Basically,
unit.
what I'm saying is, Jennifer, are you a serial killer and were those trophies?
Fuck.
That's a great question. Ooh.
He watches too much true crime.
Well, it's a very valid question when it comes to someone like this who has shown the pattern of like a pathological liar. So I'll end with some words from Joleen's mother prior to Stibert's conviction. Quote, "The last contact I had with my daughter Joleen was in the early afternoon of May 12, 2018, while she was at work. For some unknown reason, I asked Joleen about the angel figure placed on her workstation. I told her that I placed it there on a Thursday when she was off work. She said that no one had told her. I assumed she knew it was from me, because it said, 'Daughter.' This was to be our last conversation. I knew that the children and myself would see her the next day, May 13th, 2018. It was her birthday and Mother's Day. This day never came."
Oh, God. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that breaks my heart. Oh, it always is so devastating when, children die before their parents. So what happened in the past 3 years? Delays over competency. Here we go again. Enough is enough. The judicial process is confusing, frustrating, and overwhelming. It's now 3 years that Joleen was murdered and her remains not found. The month of May is a very difficult time for our family. We have no closure. Joleen's children were without a mother, and their world has been turned upside down. Nothing in life prepares survivors for the reality that someone you love died a violent death. As survivors, we are grieving not only the death, but how Joleen died. A life has been cut short through an act of cruelty. The disregard for human life adds overwhelming feelings of turmoil, distrust, injustice, and helplessness to normal sense of loss and sorrow. The world no longer feels as safe as it once did. When your child is murdered, Grief is only the beginning. What a true statement, not only for my family, but especially for Joleen's 3 children. The hardest part of grieving is waiting for justice, waiting for Joleen's remains to be found. The children are surrounded by Joleen's pictures. While I know Joleen's soul is in heaven, I feel her spirit is here, watching over her children. Sometimes I hear her say, quote, "Mom, do I do this or that?" Kiss and hug the kids for me, and it brings a smile to my face and tears to my eyes. Oh, God, that's a devastating quote.
Well, it really, puts you in that perspective. You feel her grief for a second, and it's horrible.
I'll just read the very last part of it. I want to leave you with this one last note. When we face times of delay, we can become frustrated, discouraged, and even angry. All of this combined together can become a breeding ground for the enemy to tempt you to quit and give up. We will not give up. Pray without ceasing for Joleen's remains to be found. Pray without ceasing for justice to be served for Joleen's children. Fuck.
And it was, thank God.
Yeah.
I couldn't find any article or quote after the conviction, but I believe that she's still in prison being batshit crazy.
Throwing poop at people?
Yeah.
Feces.
Wow, Randall, that was an intense one, but fascinating. I knew nothing about that.
I didn't either. Katelyn was hanging out on the porch a couple weeks ago. We were talking about what I could do coming up, and then we found this hairdresser thing and just started going down the rabbit hole. We were sitting on the porch, and check out the sources, because there's a couple much more lengthy things out there about Kimberly Kessler, but I just wanted to keep it mostly focused on Joleen and her mother's statement and that.
Yeah.
So if you want to read about crazy Kimberly, you can go to the sources or watch the Snapped episode.
Oh my God, yeah. That's one I might have to look up, because that story is fascinating. The twist of how she had been so many different people, so many different places.
Well, and they didn't suspect her to begin with, because that weekend Joleen had met up with another ex. And then so he was a suspect. There's ends that this case went that I didn't go down, because we would be here for 2 or 3 episodes.
I mean, that's, it's cases like this that are fascinating, but I'm really glad that you focused on the victim for this one.
Well, I'm really bothered by all the Dahmer stuff in the media right now. And I'm a hairdresser. We talk pop culture, and a lot of my clients know that I like true crime. They're like, "Oh my God, have you watched Dahmer?" And I'm like, respectfully, I won't. And they're like, "Why won't you watch Dahmer?" And I'm like, this happened. Some of these victims are still living, as are their families, and they were not consulted or even asked permission for the dramatization to be made. And I if the victims are like, "Please don't watch it," I don't want to watch it. And then just the people fetishizing him all over TikTok and places. I'm like,
oh, I hate
this
that.
man was. I'm like, please don't glamorize what atrocities this person committed.
Yeah, they're trying to put him on the same pedestal as Ted Bundy, and it's we don't want that. This is not what the true crime listenership is about.
Yeah, there should be no pedestal.
They people in these cases always, the person that perpetuated the crime is always the person that gets the headline, and it's never the victims or their families or the lives that they led or the impacts that they had. So I like my true crime more on the side of honoring the victims and not glamorizing the serial killer. And that's but I do have some questions about Miss Kessler, but yeah, that's why I wanted to end with that, because all the Dahmer stuff's pissing me off.
Definitely.
Agreed.
I'm also wondering, when it comes to Kimberly, did she go to beauty school under a false name, or did she just show up at the salon and she was like, "I'm ready"?
Did she get her hours? She had all those fake documents, so yeah, she probably never went to school. And I also read that she had 5 different jobs in 6 months while she was down there in Florida.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a reputable stylist.
Nah, that bitch is gonna give you a bad haircut.
She's like, "Hi, would you like me to cut your hair today? I got this new tool, this electric carving knife."
Oh,
yeah,
fuck no. Goodbye forever. Goodbye for 1 million years. Well, I think Katelyn's your story is a little long, so I think we'll go for a little ad break.
Ooh, ad break. Toby's bone cones.
Yeah.
Hey, podcast lovers. My name is Haley, and I run the Don't Identify podcast. I have been passionate about helping the unidentified get their names back ever since I found out I lived within miles of where Sherry Ann Jarvis, formerly known as the Walker County Jane Doe, was found. In my podcast, I tell the stories and provide information about unidentified people in hopes of reaching their loved ones and getting their names back. So come join me and help me advocate for these people. You never know, you could recognize someone's story.
And for a limited time only, you can own Toby's Bone Combed with a personal engraving. Randall, what does your Toby's Bone Comb say?
It says, comb.
Oh, you went the traditional route.
What does yours say, Katelyn?
Mine says, I'm tangled. Help me out.
Oh,
And Sophie?
my bone comb says ass.
Ass.
Flawless. Well, let's light it up, bitches. I'm gonna be talking about whatever Sophie just sent me. So
Hell
my
yeah.
sources are CNN, Live Science, The New York Times, Atlas Obscura, Wired, the BBC, and Wikipedia. We're starting hot with a quote.
Oh, I gotta take the covers off with that one, cause I'm glad that I'm glad this is a podcast, cause y'all can't handle these baby butt cheeks.
Yeah, you can wear anything. You can podcast in the nude.
Oh.
No one will know.
No, I got constellation chonies on.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Just before I even start with this quote, yesterday my friend Haley got me a onesie that has little astronaut cats on it. And I am never going to take it off on the weekend.
Mini in space.
Yes.
Aw.
Okay, back to Bones. Quote, this box contains the items considered necessary for the protection of persons who travel into certain little-known countries in Eastern Europe where the populace are plagued with a peculiar manifestation of evil, Jesus, known as vampires.
Oh, I'm more terrified of Jesus.
No, sorry, it's vampires.
Oh, it's vampires.
Professor Ernst Blomberg, respectful...
Blomberg.
It could be Bloomberg, I don't know. But only one O. He respectfully requests that the purchaser of this kit carefully studies his book. Okay. Should evil manifestations become apparent, he is then equipped to deal with them efficiently. Professor Bloomberg wishes to announce his grateful thanks to that well-known gunmaker of Liege, Nicholas Plombert. That really sounds like a Harry Potter character. That really sounds like a Harry Potter character. Whose help in compiling of the special items, the silver bullets, etc., has been most efficient. The items enclosed are as follows. So I guess these are the items in the box.
Yes.
An efficient pistol with its usual accoutrements. God. Accoutrement. A quantity of bullets of the finest silver. Powdered flowers of garlic. 1 file. Yes, this is how it's spelled. File is spelled PHIAL. What kind of unit of measurement is that?
No, it's a file, like a mana potion.
Yeah, like a vial, but I think it's an old-timey way to spell it, maybe.
Sure. Okay, so we've also got flower of brimstone, 1 file of that, a wooden stake, which is oak, an ivory crucifix, and then, of course, 1 file of holy water.
Holy water.
Oh, I'm sorry. The final thing in this box is Professor Blomberg's new serum. And I bet this serum has to do with vampire repulsion. So it sounds like we're talking about vampire hunting kits.
We are.
And what am I going to bring on this vampire hunt? So if I'm thinking about vampires, I'm thinking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So I've got on a crop top and a leather jacket. I'm wearing a crucifix. The pants are flared at the bottom, bell bottoms, very chunky boots. And then I'm just like running through a cemetery, like punching people, vampires in the heart with a stake.
Vampires aren't people.
I'm the bait, and I'm in those wide leg Jinko jeans, but they're not Jinko jeans. They're white corduroys with a wallet chain and my alien cat in the hat t-shirt with spiky gel hair.
I am sitting on top of the mausoleum nearby, stake in hand, black velvet mini dress, and black choker and leather trench coat adorned.
Yes.
All right, so if it says to ask you for photos here.
Will you check your Facebook and send them to Randall?
Yeah.
These are just a couple examples of vampire hunting kits.
Oh, I thought it was going to be examples of, like, early aughts, late 90s fashion.
Ugh, I wish, baby.
Oh, that is an honorable pistol, madam.
Right? The accoutrement.
The accoutrement. Although, I just have to go out on a limb and say that they need to clean that ivory crucifix because it's kind of dusty and Jesus don't like that.
There's a lot of things Jesus don't like, but you can put that one down as at least number 3.
Right. Number 1 would be, Randell Allen.
Okay, so these are worn wooden boxes full of tarnished weapons said to kill or at least repel vampires and the undead, and they were appearing at auction houses a few years ago. Bitch, I would have loved to be in an auction and they're like, here you go, a vintage vampire kit. I would have loved to see the eruption of like, what?
What? I bid $1,000.
This is Sotheby's.
So they were said to have been assembled during the 17 to 1800s as portable equipment to protect travelers from undead attacks. Yeah, because I definitely, when I'm traveling, I need to be safe from the vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a hammer with a cross on it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, so prices for these kits reached tens of thousands of dollars, and they're typically fitted with pistols, wooden stakes, Bibles, in case you need to whip out a quick book, crucifixes, rosaries, bottles of garlic powder, holy water, and herbal potions.
Oh, you know what else I see in that picture? It looks to be, so in the top, in the middle of the green box, there's this thing that could be a pick or maybe a bone comb?
Mm-hmm. Toby's everywhere.
Which picture is this?
Now available at Target.
The green lined box.
Oh, I see the hammer with the crucifix on it. I don't see it. Oh, it looks like a tiny paddle. I guess it could be a comb, maybe.
Or giving the vampires a little spank on the bottom.
Oh, what's the safe word?
Garlic.
That was unplanned.
That was
Holy
perfect.
shit.
Yes. Oh my God. If this were ballroom, we'd be like, bam!
Bam, yeah, that's a sleigh.
Okay, so in 2004, Sotheby's sold a Blomberg kit for $26,400, although the cash and catalog... Damn it, did you hear how weird that sounded? My brain just like switched the words.
You skipped.
Yeah. Although the catalog cautioned that, quote, neither the existence of Professor Blomberg nor that of the gunmaker Plomdour can be confirmed. Also, open to question is whether these kits were ever employed successfully in the killing of vampires. And it says we're going to get back to this. In 2011, an unsigned vampire killing kit with 32 components, including a map of Transylvania and 2 crucifixes, was sold for $25,000. That's
Damn.
A lot of dough for
People
like
want these.
for nothing, basically. It's a cool piece of history, but like, come on.
Well,
Listen, rich people be wildin'.
I guess if I were to have one ornate piece of history, this would be on brand for like for me and for us. I don't know. Maybe I don't hate this, but I wouldn't spend $20,000.
I think that's a bit of an upcharge for me. That's a little rich for my blood. Get it?
Yeah. Another Blomberg kit came up at Sotheby's in 2012, and it sold for $13,750. And the catalog described it as, quote, continental, circa 1900 and later, and had no source to confirm whether this piece was genuine or not. Ooh, mysterious.
How do you confirm?
Yeah, so that's the next question, actually. These kits are beautiful, ornate works of art, but did anyone really use them? Was there ever a need? I'm also curious about that.
Oh, well, go on, Katelyn.
Okay. So we're in part 2, which is titled The Mythos.
The mythos.
Hey, did you know people have been afraid of vampires for thousands of years?
What?
Have you seen fucking Twilight?
Unfortunately.
That's not in here. I said that.
I sparkle in the sun, Bella.
I'm hideous.
Edward.
So archaeologists have unearthed ancient human remains in Greece that were pinned down with heavy rocks to keep the bodies in their grave. We've talked about this before, I feel.
Yes, we have.
Possibly due to the belief that the undead could rise again and kill the living. People's belief in undead beings likely comes from a lack of understanding of communicable diseases, yup, and the natural physical processes that bodies go through as they decompose.
Yeah.
We got an example. This sounds like it's going to be gross.
Yeah.
The example. The liquefied remains of the decomposed digestive tract can leak out through the mouth and nose of dead bodies. The dark fluid looks just like blood. Yeah, that would be horrifying. Hair, beard, and nails continue growing after death, which may have tricked some people into thinking the recently deceased were still alive. But actually, this idea that hair and nails grow after death is false.
It is what, Katelyn?
It's false.
False.
But, you know, you had to throw this in there for the skin lovers.
And the hair guy.
And the hair guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm like, listen, the scalp is receding, Karen.
Exactly.
It's not still growing.
Yeah.
Calm down. You don't have magical powers. You're dead.
That's what this says. It's not about the fingernails, or sorry, it's not that the fingernails are growing, but that the skin around them retracts as it becomes dehydrated, making them appear longer. So everybody's like, their fingernails are still growing. They're alive, but not. I hate it.
Somewhere, Toby is in his coffin like, told you there was shrinkage.
Toby, did you get acrylics? Jesus.
Toby, those nails are fierce.
Yes. Is that a coffin shape or a stiletto?
Gotta go for the coffin.
I prefer a nice almond.
It's because you're a nut. I'm sorry.
So,
I love it.
in the early 1800s, New England had a vampire panic over 2 local women, a mother and daughter, died of tuberculosis, and they supposedly became vampires. As the deceased mother's son, who probably also had tuberculosis, grew sicker and sicker, townspeople began to believe that the 2 dead women were cursing him from the grave, literally, because they didn't know that the disease had just spread because they were in close proximity, I assume.
Yes.
Also, what vampires curse people? Oh, vampires curse.
Well, like, something that, like, Katelyn will go over a little bit, but, like, vampire mythology as we know it today is a bit different than what it was, like, when people were, like, legit afraid of vampires.
So it sounds like a common belief about vampires at this time was that they didn't always leave the ground to prey on their victims. Wait, I don't understand what that means.
They could curse you while they were literally in their grave.
Oh, okay.
They did not have to get up and get you. They could kill you remotely.
Cool. Yeah.
They got that Bluetooth.
Mm-hmm. You do not want to be paired with this vampire.
I totally remember this. So, to stop the spread of vampirism, bodies were exhumed and internal organs ritually burned to stop the vampire from attacking the local population and to prevent the spread of the disease, which is like, just don't open the coffin, bitch. Like, leave it shut. But I get it. At the time, vampires were a very real threat in their minds.
Oh my god, and then witches came along and they were like, vampirism is so last season, let's burn all these women.
Sure. Yeah, unfortunately. So Charles Hansen, the owner... I cannot talk and I don't have dyslexia. Charles Hansen, the owner of Hansen's Auctioneers, one of the auction houses that sold a vampire hunting kit, said, quote, "The task of killing a vampire was extremely serious, and historical accounts suggested the need for particular methods and tools. Items of religious significance, such as crucifixes and Bibles, were said to repel these monsters, hence their presence in the kit." So let's get back to the boxes themselves. Over the years, some have said that they were authentic. Others said that they were made as souvenirs for gullible tourists or possibly just memorabilia for vampire enthusiasts. Because you know bitches love their memorabilia.
People have both loved and feared vampires for as long as we have had the concept of them.
So many would love to believe that these kits are real and were used by real vampire hunters, but the kit's authenticity begins to fall apart once they are examined further. Oh no. We're going to talk about the kit that the Hansen guy just mentioned, and I'm supposed to ask you for another picture, so.
Here we go.
Oh my god, this one is beautiful. Okay, I'm going to send it
This
to you,
is
Randall.
maybe my favorite one, yeah.
Oh my god. I love this one. There's like a piece of art in the middle.
Oh, girl, she definitely went to Etsy for that one.
I mean...
This one I could see Buffy having.
Look how tiny and cute that little bubble is.
And
Right?
the tiny gun.
I know, the littlest, tiniest little gun. Pew pew.
Oh, and look who's dead in center.
Mm,
Jesus!
Your BFF.
Oh, it talks about that in my research.
Please.
Oh,
The lockable, silk-lined box also contained an oval enamel painting of the resurrection of Christ. Sorry, I don't know what that was. A carved
Christ on a
I
cracker.
guess. A carved ivory wolf. A carved ivory wolf in robes carrying rosary beads.
Yeah.
Let me go back to the picture. Where is this fucking wolf?
Girl, it's like a deluxe action figure kind of situation.
It's a Happy Meal.
It's that thing on
y'all, I
the side
got-
of the painting, I believe.
There was the wolf that stopped me mid sentence. There was also a cobalt blue glass vial with a white metal lid and unknown contents, 3 clear and aqua glass bottles, 2 sets of pliers. Why the fuck do you need pliers if you're vampire hunting? And a pocket knife with a mother
Their
of pearl
teeth.
handle and HM silver blade.
Pliers are for their teeth.
Oh, I guess in this scenario, they don't vaporize instantly when you stake them.
Remains to be seen.
Unclear. Okay. So I guess the owner of this box that we saw the picture of chose to remain anonymous, and they had it for 3 years. He told Hansen's that the box's history is unknown, but it was purchased at a large antiques fair as a conversation starter. Yeah, I bet.
Right?
That's funny.
I was like, you and me both, bitch. I'll take it.
I would actually display that. I'm liking these boxes more and more.
I think you'll absolutely love them by the end.
So Robert A. Smart, that's a very smart last name,
I know,
and-
especially for a professor.
an English professor and dean of the College of Arts and Sciences at Quinnipiac, that's probably said wrong, University, believes that the box is almost surely a fake. Damn it. So why does he think this? Well, he said the kit is a mixture of 5 or 6 different traditions that you never would have seen in a real one. And there were some real ones. Okay, that's cool, smart guy. A few of the items seemed out of place. The pocket knife, for example, says, Smart said, quote, "You would need something bigger, to cut off the head of a vampire." And the ivory wolf in robes, I've never seen that. Yeah, I get that. Why?
He's like, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I've never seen it.
I guess more standard kit items would be silver bullets, herbs, and holy water. And Smart is not the only guy to, totally debunk this box. It sounds like Jim Henser, an associate director at Hansen's auction house, says that the components of the box span in age about 100 to 120 years, which could be like, oh, they passed this down through the generations, but seems like it's probably just fake and a big collection of things that people thought would look good in this box.
Mm-hmm.
I told y'all they went to Etsy.
You were on the money.
They went to Home Goods and they filled their boxes with stuff.
Oh, won't you fill my box?
So I guess the container, Spencer thinks, is from around 1780. The New Testament Bible that you like so much in the kit was published in Cambridge in 1842. Some of the bottles are from the late Victorian era. Others are Edwardian. Mr. Spencer from Hansen's has a few theories as to why these were made, and I would love to know them. Quote, could it have been put together in around 1910 or 1920 by someone who seriously thought that they might need to deter a bloodthirsty vampire? Or was it put together in 1910, 1920 as a curiosity, a bit of fun, a talking point for when you're puffing your cigars after a meal? It could even be a mid-20th century theatrical prop. That's fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of me. I think I'm liable to go with the conversation starter thing because I feel like that has remained the most like constant through the life of these kits, is that people just want to have them. And like you'll see there's a bit more explanation, but I think people were like, you know, what if I made a vampire hunting kit, tried to sell it as real?
Well, I feel like there was and now I don't know any of the names, but there was a really famous like art thief guy who sold a bunch of relics to, I feel like, the people high up in the Mormon church. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? This guy, like,
yes.
I don't know any names at all, but it's like there was this one guy who was just so good at making fake Mormon relics.
Ooh, we should do that one if we haven't already.
Aren't they all fake?
I mean, fake
Mic
is a relative
drop.
term.
So, while some of the vampire hunting kits are well made and convincing until you break them down, others are made with a bit less art. I'm interested to see what that means. Experts who specialize in debunking vampire myths, I would love to be that expert.
Right.
They have widely denounced almost all of the kits. Sometimes the wooden multi-compartment cases are obvious fakes ripped from antique desks or boxes originally used for tools, guns, pens, cosmetics, jewelry, or musical instruments. Bullets inside don't actually fit into the barrels of the accompanying guns.
Oh, that's horrible. The inaccuracy.
And then anti-vampire potions come in bottles with modern screw-top lids. Sounds sus to me. The stakes and mallets were wood recycled from furniture legs. Sophie said, "Lol, feel my couch fury, undead scum." So David Walker, the head of Sotheby's 19th century furniture department in New York, says he's very skeptical of stories that travelers or vampire hunters ever used the kits for self-protection. Wow, he really doesn't think this is real. Mm-hmm. He describes the material as, quote, very theatrical and rather elaborate and quite whimsical.
I'm with him there. Like, it's definitely for the aesthetics. When you said she went to Etsy, like, this is proto-Etsy.
It's just
yeah.
Okay, so now we need to remember Professor Ernest Bloomberg from the kit at the beginning. So remember him. Bloomberg. One of his kits surfaced in the 1980s as a donation to the Mercer Museum, Doylestown, Pennsylvania. On the leather case's yellowed paper label was the name of a professor, Ernst Blomberg. It lists the contents as including silver bullets, a supply of his new serum, which I really want to get to the bottom of the serum, and a gun made by the Belgian gunsmith Nicolas Plomdur. So the British weaponry expert Jonathan Ferguson, who is the curator of firearms at the Royal Armouries in Leeds, which owns a vampire killing kit, believes that the kits are inspired more by contemporary movies than Victorian stories and folklore. That's fair, I think. Mm-hmm. They hypothesized that in the 1970s, a British antiques dealer with a creative imagination invented the Blomberg Plumder story. Those names are hard to say together. Mm-hmm. Invented their story to make some unremarkable guns in his inventory more valuable and attractive. On one of the kits, a team of researchers found many historical inaccuracies. The adhesives are modern. The silver bullets are pewter. Shame, shame. Blomberg's paper labels could only have been printed after 1945. And then no one knows what's inside the glass vials, and no one is willing to damage the waxy seals and investigate the serum.
So you are never going to know what Bloomberg's secret serum is. No one wants you to know.
God damn it.
No one wants to get in there.
What if it's the cure for COVID?
What if it makes you have no wrinkles at all? Like, it's just the best serum there is.
I don't know. I think it's 1970s dish soap.
Okay, it sounds like, unfortunately, as much as we love these kits, they are fake. They are not real. They serve as an example of our continued interest in the undead and their effect on us. So although they may be inauthentic, they still preserve mythos about vampires. Corey Amsler, a vice president at the Mercer Museum, says their kit has drawn visitors for decades. Yeah, I would see the shit out of this. It serves as a spooky prop during Halloween programs, and it has been used as a serious educational tool to explain centuries of misconceptions about the causes of diseases like tuberculosis. Some visitors have even brought in their own antique heirloom vampire hunting kits to compare to the one at the museum. And I'm going to end here with our friend Professor Smart believes that it is not so important that these kits are real. Quote, the continued intense interest in these kits is an indication of the cultural value that it has. It may not have that kind of historical value, but it certainly has cultural value. And I'm ending with some very hot pictures of David Boreanaz. Thank you so
I think you should send them to
yes.
Randall.
Yes, send them to
These are a personal selection.
These are good.
Oh.
I haven't seen these ones.
Now, see, I was more of a Xander or Oz person. Seth Green is my height, so, like, yeah.
Sorry, I think our podcast is very pro-Angel, David Boreanaz.
He was in 2 great franchises.
We love him.
I miss him.
I miss him every day.
But that was vampire hunting kits. I thought that you would enjoy that as a lover of
Yes.
vampires yourself.
Oh, now I'm ready for Twilight, for real.
Yeah.
Oh, take me, Edward. Maybe it's Maybelline.
I don't know, but if I ever came across one of these kits and it wasn't a couple of $1,000, I would purchase it.
Yeah, a $20 fake vampire kit. Yeah, I'll get
I
that.
do like a $200 fake vampire kit.
Okay.
You can get a Book of Shadows and, like, an entire witch chest on Etsy for, some reasonable prices. And maybe, why not? Why not a vampire
Why?
hunting kit on Etsy? Oh my god, I bought a cauldron off of Amazon one time, and I was super excited, because I'm like, oh my gosh, this cauldron, it's cast iron, it's so cheap. Like, why is it only $14? Besties, it was 2 inches across.
Of course it was. You bought a miniature cauldron.
I thought I was getting a whole ass cauldron, and I told my friend Natalie, I was like, oh my god, come over, let's, release some things this weekend. I got a cauldron, it'll be great.
You can write
Ladies
on a
and gentlemen,
Post-it?
my 2-inch cauldron. Yeah, so basically I use it to burn incense, and we just use the old smoker to have our ritualistic burning. As Sophie says,
A flame is a flame. You gotta use what you have.
Whether it be a discarded smoker or a Yankee candle that smells like
Amen. Just like with vampire hunting, you have to use what you have.
You gotta release that negative energy in the fall times. Because of it's the fall times, I have to apologize. I realize the whole time we've been doing this, I've been leaning over this microphone, and because of all the smoke, I'm like...
It's okay.
So I apologize for all the heavy breathing you have to edit out.
That's okay. Noise reducer will take care of that.
Oh, thank you, noise reducer. Can it make me less shrill and make me sound a little bit more masculine?
Noise reducer can only do so much.
God damn it. I just want to be like, hi, and welcome back to Evenings with Chad.
Well, I mean, if that's what you want your next segment to be
we're
called.
moving into an evening with Chad.
Oh, okay, welcome back. Welcome back, listeners, to An Evening with Chad. Tonight we have a story coming to us from Lake Forest Park, Washington, with one, Katelyn.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to tell this one. It's
Yes, it begins. Are you ready?
Will you read the whole beginning
I will.
of it?
Oh,
Okay.
that's why I launched into this,
Okay.
because the way you set it up, it was like my cue card. I'm like, okay.
Also, Katelyn, you did a fantastic job with the vampire stuff.
Thanks. It was awesome. I liked it.
I just loved horrifying Sophie the whole time with Kimberly. Okay, where are we at? Okay. Good evening, Randall. I feel like the Mission Impossible music should be playing. Dun, 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 dun. Good evening, Randall. Welcome back to Anything Bones. This is going very well. The story you are about to cover is dark, spooky, and Halloweeny, but there's a trigger warning for child murder. Sorry. This is the story of the Candyman, aka the man that killed Halloween. Ronald Clark O'Brien, another bastard with 3 names.
God damn it.
My sources are articles from A&E, Vice, and New York Daily News. Is that how you wanted it read?
It's perfect.
My favorite part was, welcome back to Anything Bones. This is going well.
Yeah. I just wanted to encourage you.
Past you is like, I have so much faith in Randall to stay on track, and present you is like, God damn it.
Randall.
Okay, let's talk about Ronald Clark O'Brien, the bastard with 3 names, his wife and 2 children, Timothy, age 8, and Elizabeth, age 5. Starting in Texas? No. Started Halloween 1974 with a meal at the home of the Bates family in Pasadena, Texas. After dinner, the 2 dads left the house escorting 3 children, Bates' son and O'Brien's son and daughter, out into a rainy night to trick-or-treat. One house along the route was dark. The children still ran and rang the doorbell. Oh my god, I'm so burped.
Of course, right when you're about to start talking, yeah.
All of us has had a demon in our throats tonight. Damn. O'Brien lagged behind and then ran to catch up. He was waving 5 22-inch pixie sticks and told the kids, "Rich neighbors!" In the dark house were giving out big pieces of candy.
I don't like where this is going.
It just freaks. There's a man down the street that gives out full-size candy bars, but they're wrapped in Jesus tracks, and he has, like, MAGA flags in his front yard, and I'm like, sir, this is Seattle.
Throw that away.
No, I wouldn't eat that.
Yeah, no, don't. We don't allow our daughter to trick-or-treat there. We're like, not that house, baby.
Yeah, no.
Their decorations are too scary.
I'm terrified. Each of the 3 children on the walk got a pixie stick. Later, O'Brien gave the 4th to Bates' other child. The final pixie sticks went to a trick-or-treater visitor who rang the doorbell at the Bates house. Insert bad vibes here.
Oh no.
We kind of did that already.
No.
This is like a classic, my neighborhood that I grew up in, we used, like, a bunch of families would get together, and then the dads would take us trick-or-treating, so this rings, like, very true for me.
Yeah, it was the same one where I grew up in Oklahoma, like, one parent would take all the kids around, and, like, you'd go to one part of town where, like, you know, there was, like, you had the different good spots to go to.
Yeah, so it starts off innocent enough.
Yep.
But...
Okay, here come the bad vibes. So before bed, Timothy was allowed one treat, and he picked his pixie sticks tube. But the powdered sugar was stuck in the straw, and it wasn't until his dad helped him to dislodge it that he could try it. It tasted bitter, so Ronald got him a glass of Kool-Aid. Less than an hour, Timothy was dead.
I hate the ones with kids.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's okay, but this is a Halloween story.
I mean, it is... The movie The Candyman scared the shit out of me as a kid. And
you've seen it?
The one from back in the day. I haven't seen the remake.
I haven't seen either of them. Shit, maybe I should have.
Oh, yeah, the one in the back of the day scared the crap out of me. But I don't know the origin, so,
Okay.
This is great.
Good. Now you're going to find out.
When Timothy's body was brought to the morgue, the medical examiner recalled the scent of almonds coming from the boy's mouth. Is that arsenic?
Nope.
Or strychnine? I was just listening to a Bailey Sarian haunted history podcast about a poison that tasted like almonds.
Read the next paragraph.
Ooh. An autopsy later confirmed that Timothy had consumed enough potassium cyanide to kill 2 or 3 grown men. People were able to retrieve the other 4 pixie sticks, all of which were uneaten. Oh, thank God.
Right?
And determined that someone had replaced the top 2 inches of each with granules of cyanide. Investigators had O'Brien and Bates retrace their steps from Halloween night. Her. Gave conflicting accounts as to which house handed out the...
My bad.
He gave conflicting accounts as to which house handed out the poison candy. O'Brien pointed the finger at a random person's house who was exonerated when it was discovered he was working on Halloween night.
So Police he was just like, it was that house. And just, like, tried to pull in some random person to, like, blame his child's murder on.
Did he kill his child?
Sorry.
Oh, God damn it. He's the Candyman?
I ruined it.
I thought it was going to be somebody at some house. Damn it. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Okay.
No, he's the Candyman.
Okay. Police soon learned about O'Brien's financial problems and discovered he had taken out multiple life insurance policies on his children.
Huge red flag to me. Like, why?
It's... God, this one's so fucked up. Like, this man is seriously a monster.
Whew. Those who knew O'Brien considered him a model citizen. In reality, he had difficulty holding down a job. He was employed by 21 different companies. Jesus Christ. 21 different companies over a 10-year period and fired from each for negligence or fraudulent behavior. In the fall of 1974, O'Brien was on the brink of being fired again after his employer, Texas State Optical, suspected him of stealing money. It was later discovered that he was more than $100,000 in debt. He had defaulted on several bank loans, and his car was on the verge of being repossessed.
Yeah, he was an optician, so he, made glasses.
Yeah.
But somehow was really, really bad at it. And, couldn't keep his hand out of the cookie jar.
Damn. As police dug deeper, they learned that O'Brien had inquired with several chemical companies on where to buy cyanide and jokingly asked how much it would take to kill a person.
Wow, that's bold.
They found a pocket knife. Yeah, they found a pocket knife in O'Brien's home with candy residue on it, suggesting how the candy might have been contaminated. After failing a polygraph... Polygraphs are shit.
It was the 70s.
Yes, I know. After failing a polygraph, he was arrested on November 5th, 1974, and charged with Timothy's murder. Ronald O'Brien entered a not guilty plea at trial, blaming the tainted candy on some untraceable boogeyman, a sick individual using the cover of Halloween to poison unsuspecting children. But friends, family, and co-workers all testified against him, and on June 3rd, 1975, it took just 46 minutes for a jury to return a guilty verdict for 1 charge of capital murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. An hour later, it was decided that Ronald would be executed by electric chair.
Wow.
On March 31st, 1984, when all appeals had been exhausted, he was finally put to death for his crime. By this point, the U.S. Supreme Court had ruled the electric chair a cruel and unusual punishment, so his life was ended with a lethal injection.
So he got 10 more years of appeals being denied before he was executed.
Yeah. As the sentence was carried out, demonstrators in Halloween masks stood outside the prison yelling trick or treat.
Oh.
So, be cautious this Halloween, but for fuck's sake, don't let this man ruin your fun. According to Vice, since Timothy O'Brien, there hasn't been a single case where a child has actually died after consuming contaminated Halloween treats. I've already seen the articles this year. They're giving fentanyl to children. I'm like, no, they're not. They're giving weed edibles to children.
No, they're not.
They're too expensive.
They're very expensive, yes.
An edible is like $4 to $8 per edible. So, nah, kid, you get a Tootsie Roll. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I'm going to the Dollar Tree. If I were to have trick-or-treaters in my apartment complex, I would go to the Dollar Tree.
We get trick-or-treaters in our neighborhood, and I get good candy because I don't want to be the gays on the block with the shitty candy. I want kids to be like, those gays are where it's at.
Just don't give out any pixie sticks, because I no longer trust them.
Yeah.
No, I bought Reese's Halloween pumpkins that are not pumpkin-flavored nor shaped like pumpkins. But it is what it is.
Sure.
What about them is pumpkin?
The package. Just the pumpkin on the package.
Wow.
Yeah, but they're delicious. I had 3 today.
Are there going to be any left for the children?
Yeah, I bought 1 bag for myself and 1 bag for the children.
Nice. That's good preparation.
I also have 2 costumes, just in case, on Halloween, if I want to put in maximal effort. Like chubby Sarah Sanderson. Dress, wig, I got it all. I even got a Swiffer to fly around on and suck the souls out of all the lives of the children of the shoreline. And if I want to put in absolutely no effort, I got one of those inflatable T-Rex costumes.
Excellent.
Awesome. I don't have a costume lined up yet.
Girl, you better figure that out.
I know, I guess I better.
I think I'm going to do a Bride of Frankenstein because I've got the hair for it.
Yes, you do. Oh, girl. And if you need some hairspray that will hold that up, I got it.
I'd be interested in that.
Got to be glued, baby.
Ooh, that's the good stuff. Thank you so much, Randall, for doing this experimental format, for being only the 2nd episode that we do this format for.
I've heard a bunch of other podcasts do it. I think it's hilarious because it was like, oh my god, they want me back and I get to do another story, and it was like, oh wait, this is fun.
Yeah, you were the advocate to do this, so I'm glad that we could do it because it is kind of fun. It's like, what's it gonna be?
Yeah, no.
I hope your listeners are like, that guy is random as fuck, and I like it.
I was kind of nervous because I was like, what is it gonna be? Like, Katelyn knows, but I don't know. Randall knows, but I don't know.
I had so much fun doing it. It was either Kimberly Kessler or I was like, I need to talk about mummy brown paint and like the fucked up shit that's been in cosmetics. But I feel like you guys did that at one point.
I've mentioned it, but we haven't done it formally.
Girl, we should all do an episode where we all just talk about some kind of deadly cosmetic or personal care item.
That'll be third time's the charm.
Yeah, I love that.
Ooh.
Randall, I have to tell you, I did almost surprise you by having you cover Jean-Benet Ramsey.
That
I was very close. Because he and I watched part of the documentary on Amazon, which is 2 parts or 3 parts, I can't remember.
2 parts, yeah.
That is so freaking good and interesting.
And Burke Ramsey was like, now listen, I'm gonna sue you for $750 million. And then they were like, listen, we're settling out of court. And you can still rent that documentary, so I don't think that went in Burke's favor. Don't sue me or kill me, bro.
Yeah. We have no official opinion on this podcast.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So I was like, what if I just fucking had Randall cover Jean-Benet Ramsey? And then I was like, no, that's too much.
would have been such a bomb.
I would have given you...
I know.
I would have...
Yeah. Right?
I would have given you my best pageant prepared responses. And I would talk to you about my poise and my grace and my perfect princess hands.
Honestly, it's such a mindfuck, that case. Like, after watching that documentary, and I think listening to Morbid did like a 2-part or maybe more parts on it, I can't stop thinking about it. It's going to be that case where I just can't let it go because it just doesn't make sense.
It's that one, and then the Yuba 5. Did you guys ever do the Yuba City 5? The men that disappeared from Yuba City, California back in the day? And they all had intellectual disabilities, and they vanished one night.
Okay, we're going to have to cover that one, apparently.
Next week, Yuba 5.
Jeez.
No, so that and Jean-Benet, those 2 cases are like ones that like keep me up at night.
Man.
But, like, if we ever cover Jean-Benet Ramsey, we would have to do it the both of us, because that would be...
I was thinking the same thing.
That would be a long
There's too much.
episode.
And I don't want to get sued, because they do that.
He is extremely litigious. And then remember, I found that other Jean-Benet podcast written by somebody connected to the family.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it's like, obviously to save face. I started listening to it, and then I realized they were like telling a narrative, and I was like, oh, no.
Huh. Shit. I'm glad I didn't do that.
That would have been hilarious. That would have been like, it's an honor. I'm whelmed.
Yeah, we wouldn't do that to a guest. But speaking of you being a guest, Randall, today, what is your favorite bone?
Today, my favorite bone are 2 bones.
Oh.
My hip bones.
Oh.
And they're sore.
Oh.
These hips don't lie, baby. There's no hips and no ass, flat as the plains that I grew up on. But these hip bones allowed me to move my salon suite down 2 doors over the last 18 hours, and I managed to move my entire salon in a day and a half. And I'm a chubby little penguin of a man standing at 5'6". And when I tell you that my hips hurt so much from walking back and forth, I value my hips today. And when this podcast is over, not sponsored, I'm gonna rub some Flexol 420 on my hips.
Hell yeah.
Nice. That sounds
Menthol.
relieving. Yeah.
Sophie, what's your favorite bone? What's your bone right now?
Oh, my bone of choice?
Yes.
I would say my toe bones, because I went to a wedding yesterday and I wore some pretty tall and practical shoes, and these...
So they were sexy.
They were cool. They were fun. I made a splash at the Midwestern wedding. A lot of people gave me really nice compliments.
Oh.
But, and it was very funny because, like, someone else didn't know anyone. I didn't know anyone because it was a wedding of a friend of my boyfriend's. And so there was another significant other there who didn't know anyone. And they were told to look for the chick with black and white hair. And I was like, I'm glad.
Yes, you're like, You're my friend. Hi, we are now bonded for this social engagement in which we will both be very awkward.
Yes, but, the toe bones got me through dancing, socializing, the eating of barbecue, and the walking to a dispensary midway through the wedding.
Oh, I have dispensary concerns. I'm going to another state in the winters of times, and they don't have dispensaries there unless you have a specialized card, and I don't know what I'm going to do on this vacation.
Cry.
A lot.
Put it in the...
I'm going to eat my feelings at Brahms Ice Cream and Dairy, Sonic Drive-In, Long John Silver's, Chili's. I'm looking forward to a lot of Midwest Texarkana style food.
I had Culver's for the first time yesterday, if you're familiar.
Get it, girl.
Oh, fried cheese curds are the way to go.
Oh my god. So, Sophie don't know, but Katelyn do. Prior to recording this podcast, I ordered Dairy Queen, and what did I get, Katelyn? Cheese curds.
It's a cheat.
I bet you did.
Katelyn.
Lactose intolerance be damned.
Katelyn, take us out of this with your favorite bone.
My favorite bone in this very moment... God, I don't know right now. I think maybe it's gonna have to be my ribs.
Nice.
Oh.
I love ribs. We were talking about barbecue, and ribs also protect pretty much all the major stuff. We need them for structure.
All that life meat.
Yeah, I need
Life
it.
meat.
Organs.
Cover it up
And
with
the
some
true
ribs.
crime sandwich.
All right, people.
Yeah, thank you for joining us again for this true crime sandwich with a little bit of vampire hunting in the middle.
Meaty. Thank you for having me back, guys.
Of course. We love having you.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Bone.
Voyage!
All right, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye!
Thanks for listening to Anything Bones. Follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Anything Bones Podcast, or email us at anythingbonespodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you to Nick Kruger for our spooky music and Stephen Vetteroff
At Chubby Scrubby on Twitter,
for our jazzy vocals, and thank you to Camilla Franklin
at Camilla Strader on Instagram.
for our beautiful bony artwork. Please rate, review, and subscribe. All right, and we're out.
Yay! And now I hit stop, right?